afternoon and welcome back to My Osprey TV. We're here this week with a podcast with a friend of mine that I've known for quite a few years, but it's just recently that she started a new part of her business and her training that really is very appropriate right now. It's about safety in your home, about firearm training, and about how to train to be safe with a firearm. Welcome, Cora Simon. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Marie. I'm excited to share this with other people.
Tell me a little bit about your business and how you got to where you are today, because originally I was getting to know you as a lady with all the pink personal safety devices.
Right.
And now you're teaching people how to safely use their weapons. So tell me about that.
Well, I was a realtor in another life for almost 40 years. And many years ago, I was the person that did not like guns, had never been around guns. Well, growing up in Key West, there were no guns. There were just, because everybody knew everybody. And if you got in trouble, they knew it before you got home. So maybe 25 years ago, I had two colleagues that were murdered, both at open houses. And I thought I was invincible. And I stop and think of all the properties that I showed out in the country, rural properties, open houses with big houses by myself. And of course, you're thinking of the big commission coming and you're not thinking of your safety. Then I had a few other colleagues that were attacked. And two of them, and Jim used to tell me that I really needed to be cautious and be observant. Well, two of my clients convinced me that I should get some training and learn how to shoot. Well, when I went home and told him that, he thought I had been abducted by an alien because I never wanted a gun in the house. Well, he signed us up for that weekend, took my first concealed carry class. And surprisingly, it was one of the few things that I'd ever tried to do that I was good at immediately. But I knew I needed training. And what's surprising is women are naturally a better shot than men. I didn't know this. I've had many instructors, male and female, tell me this. So I knew I needed to know more than just point and shoot. So we were blessed to find this amazing instructor with an incredible background and did private lessons for about 4 or 5 months and became very adept at shooting. Well, this was sort of a hobby for me. And it was back in the days when ammunition was plentiful and inexpensive. And then after I retired, which I've done for 3 times and does not take, I started doing the damsel in defense, with the stun guns and stuff. And I was given a lot of lectures on safety and situational awareness. And Jim had been saying for about 4 or 5 years, we should become instructors. Well, about 2.5 years ago, I said, enough of talking about this. We're going to do it. So we took the training, spent way too much too much money on other weapons. But that had always been something I like because, as you know, they know me as the hat lady in town. So I have 85 hats, hundreds of shoes, but not that many guns. But I'm always wanting a new gun. And I have seen some of the instructors that are out there in the market. And we wanted to do something different. We are USCCA, which is United States Concealed Carry Association, certified instructors, and we liked their approach to training. We are both life members of the NRA, but we just like the approach of the USCCA. And in getting my training and advancing my education with firearms, I've had some instructors that were very intimidating, others that were very laid back. And I said, and we have found that 80% of the people that take our classes have never held a gun, men or women. Or if they have, it's been 30 years ago, or they had a BB gun when they were a child. So we take a very different approach to it. We're non-judgmental. We don't yell at people. We don't say, we'll do it this way. We make suggestions on how to improve. We really stress the safety. I have found myself going to Kiwanis clubs and Rotary clubs, giving talks on safety and situational awareness. And a good portion of our course is teaching people to be situationally aware at all times. We have branched off in that we're going to homes, training parents and their children on gun safety, even if they don't have a gun in the house. We teach them that it's just another tool and how to approach it. So that has been very rewarding and a lot of fun.
Well, Cora, you're answering all my questions, so I don't even hardly have to ask any questions. But actually, we have a new guest with us on our show. This is Sam. She's actually one of our student interns from Bell Creek Academy, and she is doing her internship. And today we're including the podcast video recording. So glad you could make it, Sam. So the name of your company is Simon Firearm and Family Safety Training. And
yes.
Tell me about the actual training. Am I going to come take a class from you, Cora, and immediately get my concealed weapons permit? Is this a one-time class, a series? Tell me a little bit about exactly what you can offer me.
The class lasts 4 hours. You're 3 hours in the classroom and 1 hour on the range. To qualify, we have each person fire 5 to 7 rounds of live ammunition. Before you even get out of the range, we're working with your grip, with your stance. We used to use 380s and 9mm on the range. If you want to bring your own gun, you can, but you must keep it in the car until we are out on the range. We have no live fire in the room. We have what is called a CERT training gun, and that gun runs about $525. It's weighted so it feels like a real gun. It has a magazine that comes out, but it has a laser. So we teach trigger pull because it's all on the trigger. We teach sighting. Jim goes crazy because at the beginning of every class, I ask, who has had experience? How did you hear about us? And why are you here? Well, when someone does have experience, I say to the ones that are new at it, good, because we don't have to untrain you from bad habits you may have picked up.
Got it.
And I said, I know I'm not insulting them because in doing competition years ago, I picked up a few bad habits. I got a little cocky. I said, well, aren't I smart? And did some things. And that's when you get the slice with the gun when it comes back and catches you, or you get a little bruise or something like that. Okay. And that's from showing off and not paying attention. But if you don't hit them all in the target, and we explain in the class, this is just the beginning of your education. I'd have to say 40% of our students that take the class come back for private coaching because we teach one-on-one. Okay. We've occasionally done couples, and Jim will get one and I will get the other, and we'll switch back and forth. Our styles are very similar, which is interesting because he comes from the world of hospital administration and I come from the world of real estate, but we really balance each other very nicely, and our methods are quite similar. And whenever he's taken a new course, because we're always upgrading our education, he'll come say, you have to watch this, you have to do that. And if you came in our house right now, we'd have 3 or 4 targets around the house because we do a lot of dry fire.
Oh boy.
and we suggest dry fire because, number one, it's inexpensive. And a box of ammunition now runs anywhere from $40 to $70 for 50 rounds.
So tell me what dry fire is for those of us that don't have a clue.
Is using a laser bullet.
Okay.
And so you can see what you're hitting. And we also have, there are five or six different programs that have apps that you can hook up to your computer.
Oh boy, so, turn it into a video game. There you go. Oh boy.
And we also teach in your home, you should have a code word for the family. You should have a safe room that you can go to where you can escape from your room. If you elect not to have a firearm, that's okay, because we train that the firearm is the last thing you should ever have to use. You
Sure.
want to layer your protection. We have several stun guns around the house. And of course, they're all cute and colorful. We have pepper spray at every door.
Okay.
And we know where the guns are. And then some are in the safes and our personal carry guns. But we train all the time. And we teach families to do this. And some people just say it's never occurred to them.
Right.
And it's not that we're paranoid, but the bad people go to the nice neighborhoods. They're not going to the slums.
There you go. I got just a couple more questions for you. So in one 4-hour class, I could become certified to have a concealed weapon permit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you'll give me all the skills I know, whether I own my own gun or not. Taking your class, I could have the right to carry.
You can have the right to carry. We recommend different guns for different people. We will show you how to fit them to your hand because one gun does not fit. Jim has a favorite gun that I can't stand.
Got it.
And my gun, he doesn't particularly care for. If you've never fired before, we recommend that you get additional training.
Sure. Other than maybe a hunting rifle with my dad, or maybe, once or twice, but I would be one who'd be absolutely green coming in and, wouldn't be immediately an expert. I would need definitely some private training. The last little question I have, Cora, because of course we only have a few minutes and then I still have a lot of questions and I know you have a lot of information.
We'll go for coffee one day.
Yeah, there you go. And I can learn some more. Let's talk for just a minute. I'm sure in your class you talk about safety and securing that weapon. For me, I've got a house full of kids. That would be my biggest concern, is having that. How do you teach that in your class? What do you talk about as far as safety and keeping that gun safe and secure in your home?
If you have little kids, we suggest that you keep it in a safe that you're going to use your fingerprints to touch. When I first started shooting, some of our grandchildren were quite young, so we always had them in places that they could not get.
Okay.
As they got older, we introduced them to guns. We only have one prissy granddaughter that had no interest. All the rest, the boys and girls, and that's the first thing we stress. In the class, you're going to hear that at least 40 or 50 times between Jim and myself, stressing safety. So we show you how to check whether you have fired and you know it's empty. We still teach you how to make sure it's cleared and you're going to do it. And there's nothing to be intimidated about. I used to be that woman. I had no idea. And we stress that you must learn how to disassemble the gun and clean it and put it back together with no pieces left over.
That's kind of important, not like an IKEA build where, this
right,
little extra
you have 3 extra screws over here. Yes.
Screws are okay. In this case, we need to make sure it's well put together. Well, right. Cora, thank you to you and Jim for the service you provide our community. I think if anything, we need to have training. We need to have continued training and learn how to do things the right way. I know you guys have classes coming up. You book out. So tell us how we can get a hold of you, how people can see your calendar and get a hold of you if they want to sign up for a class.
Okay. We have a Facebook group that is Simon Firearms and Family Safety Training. We do have a class coming up on the 17th from 9 to 1. And you can reach us at BeSafe@simonsafetytraining.com or Jim's cell, which is 813-363-7576. We do not have a website because we're still too small. And fortunately, I have to share this with you. I take a survey every month or every class, and I'd say 35 to 40% of our business comes from the Osprey ad. And that wonderful article you did on us. Yes.
That's what we like to hear. Yay. People are reading. And it
still lasts online. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Miss Cora. We love you guys. You're such great members of the community. I wish we could clone you to multiple more service businesses. You guys do a great job. And I really appreciate that endorsement. And it's all part of the package. And then doing the podcast is the next piece of just communicating wherever people are. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll make sure and put the information on the bottom, and we'll make sure people know how to get a hold of you. Have a great day, Cora.
You too, Marie. Bye-bye.